Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, continues the plot of the previous film as Frodo, Sam, and Gollum make their final way toward Mount Doom to destroy the One Ring, unaware of Gollum's true intentions, while Merry, Pippin, Gandalf, Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli, and their allies join forces against Sauron and his legion from Mordor. Guys, this movie, I bought I didn't rent, I bought the extended edition of all three Lord of the Rings films because I saw the reviews, the critic scores. This movie was just, this whole franchise, or no, this whole, the Lord of the Rings series, excuse me, it's just, as I keep saying over and over again, it's just cinematic and ambient. Return of the King felt a lot like Avengers Endgame. Especially towards the end, near the end of the film, I got a lot of Endgame vibes with Captain America. But this movie came out like over a decade and a couple years before Avengers Endgame came out in theaters. So just like the previous two reviews, my review will be broken down into two parts: the positives and then the negatives. So let's begin, shall we? This is Return of the King is truly an epic culmination of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. And it is also the satisfying conclusion of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and the film stays exactly faithful to the novel about the final confrontation between the forces of good and evil fighting for control of the future of Middle-earth. In addition, Return of the King is widely considered to be the epic film of all Middle-earth films altogether. In addition, it is also a satisfying conclusion of the Middle-earth saga, and it stays true to the source material of the book and its themes. The film has lots of exciting and satisfying action sequences, such as the attack of Minas Tirith. This is Tirith. I don't know how to pronounce the name. I'm pretty sure I just butchered it. The Battle of Pelennor Fields, and even the final battle between the good and the evil near the Eye of Sauron at the Battle of the Morannin. The Morannin? These names, excuse me for butchering these names. It is noted that the two battles of Pelennor Fields and the Morannin are the most epic battles in the saga. Where Frodo succumbs to the ring in front of Sam and claims it as his own, putting it on his finger. Gollum attacking Sam and Frodo to reclaim the ring is also, deserves a special mention to the franchise. The scene where, Sam manages to fend him off and Frodo enters the volcano. As he stands on the ledge over the volcanic lava, he succumbs to the ring in front of Sam and claims it as his own, putting it on his finger. And then Gollum, finds the invisible Frodo, attacks him, biting his finger off to reclaim the ring, and falls into the lava, leaving the ring sinking into the lava and destroying the Eye of Sauron. It explodes. Mount Doom erupts and Mordor crumbles. That's just something I 100% remember clearly at the beginning. I believe it was the beginning. It's been a while, of the Lego Lord of the Rings video game, where I believe it was the opening. It was the opening where Sam and Frodo and Gollum, it was such something a scene that I remembered from the Lego game. And the visual design, cinematography, lighting, and integration of digital and practical effects are well made, especially the time the film was made. Especially with the effects of the orc, like the makeup and the practical effects, the city of Minas Tirith. I'm just gonna call it that. Mount Doom and etc. The pacing, although one issue is that, yeah, not a whole lot, but there are some shots in this film for the very first time where the green screen, is very noticeable, and the effects are a little bit but other than that, the rest of this movie is just fucking gold. Uh, the pacing of the film is very good, but like I said, I watched the extended cut. I sat down. The extended edition. Like, the movie's already long enough. All these movies are pretty long. Like I said, like, each one of these films are like 4 hours long. Each one of these extended edition, these extended cuts are 4 hours long. It's like the Zack Snyder Justice League times three. Um, so yeah, just keep that in mind. Even though the film is pretty long, the film still has several normal and fast paced and some great moments throughout the film. Besides the battle scenes and epic moments, there are some very chilling, creepy moments throughout this movie, such as Aragorn and their group at the Army of the Dead's lair scene, Frodo getting caught by a spider, rescuing Frodo at the tower of Kurth Ungol, and Frodo turns on Sam, claiming that the ring is his before he disappears. It's just, those are some frightful, like, terrifying moments. Whether it's visually or some other type of form. The performances and as well as the characters are really excellent, especially for Viggo Mortensen. But yeah, Orlando Bloom, Miranda Otto, and Bernard Hill. In addition, the costume design of the characters are well done, making it very beautiful and realistic, and it stays very truthful to the source material of the same name. Peter Jackson, once again, who worked very hard in the making and directing of the entire trilogy of The Lord of the Rings, is very astonishing with his direction, as he still delivers an excellent, direction for that time. There are some excellent characterization for each Middle Earth character. And even the film, like Aragorn, which he now has even more great character development, which became the most powerful hero in the history of The Lord of the Rings, while Gollum, who went from an ally of Frodo and Sam into an evil, physical, chilling character, which he attempts to bring his ring back from Frodo and Sam near the end of the film. The story is well done, and it is a great and compelling story that follows the source material really well. Even though Saruman's death might be disappointing to some viewers, it's nonetheless better that it was included in the extended edition, which was the form that I watched, since it gives us answers as to what happened to Saruman and Grima. Well, there are some well-made, emotional, and intense moments, such as the opening flashback scene where Smeagol is ostracized from his community and driven away, suffering terribly from loneliness and shame. Smeagol takes solace in his love of the ring, which slowly tortures his mind. He takes solitary refuge in caves beneath the mountains, where, under the influence of the ring, he lives to a very great age. He dwindles into a hunched, furtive, slinking creature known by the unpleasant noise he makes in his throat, Gollum. Much like the two installments before, the film has several amazing and memorable quotes. For For example, my friends, you bow to no one. I am no man. For Frodo, come on, Mr. Frodo, I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you. Come on. And the list just keeps going on and on. But yeah, the film gives excellent morals that are filled with the truth. There are some amazing soundtrack that was composed by Howard Shore, and it is one of the best parts throughout the film. In addition, it has amazing music before the Battle of Osgiliath. I don't even know whatever is Into the West, which was performed by Annie Lennox. The final scenes and the ending of the film, despite it being too long, are extremely perfect, satisfying, and emotional as Aragorn is crowned king of Gondor and takes Arryn as his queen. Frodo saying goodbye to his friends as he departs to Middle-earth for the Undying Lands with his uncle Bilbo, Gandalf, and the elves, while he leaves Sam the Red Book of Westmarch, which details their adventures. In addition, it is a very excellent send-off to Peter Jackson's The Lord of the Rings trilogy and the Middle-earth films, if not counting the Hobbit trilogy, as it concludes everything from their character arcs with fitting resolutions. But there are a couple or several issues that I did want to point out. There are a few moments from the novel that was not presented in a theatrical cut, but whatever. But as someone, if I know I can see that being affecting some people. But there are because of its age, not a whole lot, but a few, like I said earlier on, just a few visual effects and CGI were a bit, felt sometimes a bit washed out and a little bit bland at times. Although it's still better than the CGI and the VFX from modern movies, But yeah, because the movie is 4 hours and 23 minutes long. Yeah, I can see how that could come off as a negative for a lot of people. Like, you can watch this movie in like 2 days, or if you have the whole day to yourself, you could just sit down and watch all of that. But yeah, the scene where the army of the dead arrives and ended the battle at the Pelennor Fields is very anti-cinematic and epic battle standards. It's never clear how Gollum, come to think about it, now that I'm thinking about it, it's never clear how Gollum came back to Frodo and Sam when they were getting very close to Mount Doom. It is also never clear how he climbed back to the edge of the cliff where he falls down after a small fight with Frodo, remember? Near the end. The scene at the end where Frodo wakes up and the Fellowship is reunited can be hard to take seriously for a scene and intended to be serious due to the overuse of slow motion and the unintentionally funny and facial expressions. Because I watched this movie in the extended cut, the scene where Saruman getting killed by Grima by slitting his throat with a dagger is not very good, and it can be disappointing. Though it's still better than the theatrical cut where neither Saruman or Grima are never seen or even mentioned again. But yeah, that's pretty much a little bit more than the Two Towers of Fellowship of the Rings when it comes to the issues and the cons, the flaws that I had with this film. But other than that, like, this movie is just Peter Jackson. Just what can I not say about Peter Jackson and the Lord of the Rings franchise? And it's amazing. It's amazing, and I am so happy that I sat down and binged watched all of the Lord of the Rings like movies. Like everyone keeps talking about the Lord of the Rings and mentioning it and quoting it, and there are so many memes and scenes that were played out, and I'm over here like thinking to myself, I gotta watch this. I gotta watch this. One day, someday in the future, I gotta watch The Lord of the Rings. And I did. And now I'm all caught up with The Lord of the Rings. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to move on. We're going to keep moving on with The Hobbit. And I believe the first film is The Hobbit. Here's what I do know about The Hobbit. I do know it's like a prequel, I believe. And it stars, yeah, it is a prequel. It's a prequel to the Lord of the Rings series. And in the Peter Jackson's films, universe, I believe it is Martin Freeman who plays a young Bilbo Baggins. And some characters from the Lord of the Rings films pop up in The Hobbit, although there are more younger, because it's, prequels, obviously, because it's taking place in the past. But that's all I know. And I also heard that the Hobbit films, there's 3 of them, and they're not as good as the Lord of the Rings films. I heard the desolation, of Smaug. I do know Benedict Cumberbatch did the motion capture for Smaug, or Smaug, however you pronounce the name, whatever. So those are the only things I know about The Hobbit. So yeah, the first one, I believe it's titled The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey. So yeah, I'll see you guys in that review. Until then, thank you so much for taking time to listen to my thoughts. And yeah, please like and subscribe. Definitely subscribe, because when you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you'll be helping me out by a ton, and it would mean a lot to me. When you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you would be part of my YouTube community, and I welcome you to my YouTube community, and me and my fellow subscribers will treat you like family. I'm getting closer to 200 subscribers, and I can't believe it. That's awesome. That's awesome. I hope one day in the future, maybe, I don't know, 200,000? I don't know. But I can keep dreaming, and I can keep wishing, and I can keep hoping that I'll get there one day, someday in the future. But thank you so much, everyone, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.